Israel is currently engaged in a war like no other, and I've spoken about this in the past, a multi-front battle across the Middle East, coordinated by Iran, together with Qatari money, and fought through Iran's vast network of terror proxies across the region. But what our enemies envisioned as Israel's moment of collapse and destruction has fast become their strategic disaster. From Gaza to Yemen, from Lebanon to Tehran, Israel is not just surviving, we're dismantling an empire of terror that they developed over decades, and we're doing it in over 2 years. And in doing so, we are exposing the deeper battle for the future of the Middle East and the whole freedom-loving world. So I'm going to give you the latest update of what's going on. Let's start with Gaza. This week, the IDF officially ended its daily tactical pause of activity, signaling the beginning of a relentless new phase to destroy our Islamo-Nazi enemy in Gaza once and for all, to then take full control over the Gaza Strip and start the process of making it Jewish again. In a targeted strike, Israel also eliminated Hamas's spokesperson, a central figure in the terror group's propaganda campaign and active in October 7th. And in a tragic but crucial operation, our soldiers retrieved the bodies of 2 hostages murdered by Hamas on October 7th. Their return gives their families the dignity of closure, which means that there are now 48 hostages still remaining to be saved in Gaza. Israel will not rest until every one of them is brought home and we have safety for all 10 million Israeli citizens. Now let's move on to Yemen. I want to make this clear. Israel did not just attack Yemen. Yemen, as a fully integrated Iranian proxy, chose war with Israel, continuously launching ballistic missiles at our population centers all close to 2 years, all with the singular goal of mass civilian death. This Houthi Yemen threat is no joke, as they have an army of hundreds of thousands, in addition to their ballistic missiles. Israel's response over the weekend was surgical, which means there's still much more to do, but they were trying to send a message. In a devastatingly precise strike, Israel eliminated the upper leadership of the Houthi Yemen government. Prime Minister was killed, head of the political bureau, ministers of welfare, agriculture, economy, justice, information, and foreign affairs, government secretary and government chief of staff, all killed in a surgical strike. And supposedly their ministers of defense and chief of staff either potentially seriously wounded or killed as well. This is what happens when a terror state behaves like a terror organization. Israel is finally acting like it should. Now let's move on to Lebanon. Hezbollah is threatening violence if the Lebanese government proceeds to take away their weapons, as Lebanon agreed to do in talks with the Trump administration. And as a senior commander of the Lebanese army recently said, do not expect our Shia soldiers in the Lebanese army to shoot at their Hezbollah brothers, because there are many Hezbollah family in the Lebanese army. With diplomatic channels now shut and Hezbollah increasing its provocations, the northern front is nearing escalation again. And I'm telling you, if Hezbollah remains armed on our northern border, expect Israel to finally militarily destroy Hezbollah and push them out of southern Lebanon to provide the necessary security to our northern border communities, despite all the diplomacy Trump administration has been trying to do. Hopefully, we will go all the way to the Litani River and remain there, as we should have done initially when we first went in to destroy Hezbollah in the beginning of the war. Now let's go on to Iran. The international community has reactivated the snapback sanctions mechanism, a long overdue diplomatic victory for Israel and a crippling blow to Iran. Even Iran's foreign minister publicly admitted that another direct confrontation with Israel is inevitable. Hence, expect the direct confrontation with Iran to continue someday in the near future. Will it be the same thing as the past 12-day war? No clue. We're going to see. Now on to Judea and Samaria. As I posted on Friday, the Trump administration has officially barred Mahmoud Abbas's Palestinian Authority team from entering the United States to attend the upcoming United Nations General Assembly in September. It's unbelievable! The reason? The Palestinian Authority's continued financial and political support for terrorism. This could mark more than a symbolic shift. It may well be the beginning of a broader policy realignment, laying the groundwork for the United States' support for Israel to formally apply full sovereignty over Judea and Samaria, our ancestral biblical homeland. After years of international appeasement, decades, reality is setting in. The Palestinian Authority will finally be punished for supporting terror and supporting the destruction of Israel. They also use in diplomatic legal warfare to do. That's all the good news on the current war front. Now for the update about the war that nobody is talking about. The axis of evil is shifting. As Israel continues to successfully destroy the Iranian Shiite axis, Iran's partner Qatar, which is a Sunni country, is busy establishing a new and equally dangerous Islamic axis of evil threat to Israel and the whole freedom-loving world. In a recent statement, Israeli Minister Amichai Shikli said it straight out, identifying the emerging Sunni axis of evil, comprising of Qatar, which is the Muslim Brotherhood, Turkey, which is also, under Erdogan, the Muslim Brotherhood, interested in reestablishing the Ottoman Caliphate all over the world, and Syria under their Caliphate vision championed by Jolani's al-Qaeda leadership. These are not isolated actors, with their greatest rival, the Iranian-led Shiite axis of evil, now in ruins thanks to Israel. This Sunni axis of evil are increasingly aligning ideologically and politically around a common goal to reassert Sunni Islamist dominance across the Middle East, because they are the majority, and to eliminate Israel as a free democratic Jewish state and also endanger the whole freedom-loving Western world. Anyone who fails to see this fails to understand both fundamentalist Islam and the true nature of the tribal, religious Islamic Middle East. What's the conclusion? Israel is winning. While headlines and Jewish pundits scream about Israel potentially taking over Gaza, ultimately we are not fighting for land. We are fighting for our right to exist, to live in peace, and to protect our people from those who glorify death, and that necessitates taking back our land. This war is exposing the hypocrisy of our enemies, the strength of the Jewish people of the land of Israel, and the collapse of an axis of evil that thought we were weak and they wanted to destroy, and they thought they were going to destroy. As we face this shifting reality, Israel remains the front line of the whole freedom-loving world's defense. We will not apologize for doing what we have to do to protect ourselves on the front line to protect the whole world. We will not retreat. We will lead with morality, justice, and yes, an army. And to all those worried about the reporting of this war and the number of Jewish voices, including rabbis, throwing Israel and the Jewish people under the bus, calling for Israel to end this war, just ignore them. They are a minority. They lack any real understanding of the evil we're facing or the military and diplomatic precision that is required to ensure we win this war and we never experience another October 7th, while Israel continues to achieve extraordinary things to protect not just 10 million Israeli citizens, but the entire freedom-loving world from this growing Islamo-Nazi threat, whether Sunni or Shia. So stop believing the mainstream narratives and strengthen your faith in God above. We are winning this multi-front war, and we will win. That victory will necessarily include maintaining a permanent Jewish presence in Gaza, southern Lebanon, and southern Syria, not simply because these are our biblical lands where we are supposed to live, but because reality has made the message clear, despite every diplomatic effort to avoid it. True security will only be achieved when Israel is sovereign in its God-given ancestral homeland. Things still might take some time and might not even happen under Netanyahu as prime minister, but the process is in full swing. Be proud of that. Be proud of being Jewish. Be proud of the Jewish state of Israel, and help me share this message. Am Yisrael Chai. If you are not yet a subscriber to our daily, belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect, truthful videos about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world, what are you waiting for? Go to pulsevisual.com and click to subscribe today. And yes, we are a donor-based operation. We need your donations for support in order to make these videos and get our videos seen and do all the work we do. So every once in a while, whether a large donation or a small donation, just go to pulsevisual.com and click on the donate button. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.